So I've had some people ask me, Lourdes, do you think Brevard home prices are going to crash? And I've been collecting data for about 3 years, so I thought this would be a good time to share the data and show you what's really happening here in Brevard County. Hi everyone, I'm Lourdes Sliwa, and welcome to our October Brevard County Market Update. If this is your first time here, I'm a real estate agent right here on the Space Coast, and every month I break down the actual market data so you can make smart decisions, whether you're buying, selling, or just trying to figure it out and what's going on in our market. And today I am giving you the full breakdown, not just the headlines, but what the numbers actually mean for you. Because here's the thing, there's a lot of confusion out there. Right now, I want to cut through all the noise and just give you the facts. So let's dive into the October numbers, and more importantly, what you should actually do with this information. So I pulled the data from October 2023, October 2024, and October 2025. So we can see the real trend, not just a 1 month snapshot. First, let's look at inventory of homes for sale. October 2023, we had 3,752 homes on the market. October 2024, that jumped to 5,230. And now, October of 2025, we're sitting at about 5,500 homes. And that's a 48% increase in just 2 years. Almost half more homes available than we had in 2023. Now, if you've been following real estate at all, you probably think, okay, so with the inventory so much higher, prices must have dropped, right? Well, here's the crazy thing. Average sales prices is actually pretty steady. October 2023, the average sales price was $419,000. October 2024, $449,000. And October 2025 was $434,000. So yes, we're down from last October, but we're still up from 2 years ago. And the median price, which is probably the better number to look at, because it's not affected by a few really expensive sales, the median has been hovering right around $350,000 for the entire year. So here's what the data is telling us. Inventory has gone up significantly, but prices, they're basically holding steady. They're not skyrocketing like they were in 2021, but they're also not crashing like buyers were hoping that they would. Now, let's talk about how long homes are actually sitting on the market, because this is where sellers really need to pay attention. Back in October 2023, the average home was selling in 69 days. Not super fast, but pretty reasonable. In October of 2024, that went up to 86 days, and now we're about 109 days. That's almost 4 months. And I'm seeing this play out every single day. If a home's been on the market for 90 days, it's usually one of three things. Number one, they're overpriced. They're looking at what homes sold for back in 2024 and thinking, yeah, I can get that. But with 55 plus homes on the market, buyers have options. They're not settling for overpriced properties. They're not even looking at them. Number two, the photos are terrible. I cannot stress this enough. Buyers are shopping online first. If your listing photos look dark, cluttered, or the home doesn't show well in its best light, people aren't even going to show it. Number three, the home needs updates. Now, you don't have to do a complete renovation, but in this market, if your home is competing against freshly painted, well-staged properties, yours at least needs to be clean, decluttered, show-ready, and priced to reflect the lack of upgrades. So, if you're a seller and you're sitting here at 60, 90, 100 days on the market, something needs to change. Either the price, the presentation, or both. For buyers, though, this is actually great news. A home that has been sitting for 90 days, that seller is getting more flexible by the day. You've got negotiating power you haven't had in years. So now let's talk about something called the absorption rate. The absorption rate tells us how many months it would take to sell all of the current inventory at the pace of the current sales. It basically tells us if we were in a buyer's market, a seller's market, or a balanced market. So for example, under 4 months of inventory, it's considered a seller's market. 4 to 6 months of inventory, it's considered a balanced market. Over 6 months absorption rate is a buyer's market. Back in early 2023, we were sitting at about 2.7 months of inventory. That was a hot seller's market. Multiple offers, bidding wars, and all of that. Right now in October 25, we are 5.13 months of inventory. That puts us firmly in a balanced market territory. So, what does that actually mean for you? If you're a buyer, you're not in a crazy competitive situation anymore. You can actually take your time, get inspections, negotiate repairs, ask for closing costs, maybe ask for a contingency for the sale of your home, or contingency for appraisal. The panic buying of a few years ago, that's over. If you're a seller, you can't just throw your home on the market and expect buyers to line up. You need to be strategic. You need to price it right. You need to present it well and understand that buyers have other options. This is the new normal. And honestly, I think it's healthier for everyone. The frantic market of 2021 and 2022 was not sustainable. This balanced market means both buyers and sellers can make more informed decisions without the pressure and chaos. Okay, so now let's address some of the questions I get asked literally almost every day. Should I wait to buy? Will prices drop more? That's number one. Look, I've been showing you 3 years of data, and here's what it shows. Prices are not crashing, they're stable. We're not seeing 2008 happen again in Brevard County. And here's the thing that nobody talks about. While you're waiting for prices to drop, you're paying rent. Let's say you're paying $2,000 a month in rent. That's $24,000 a year going to somebody else's pocket and paying somebody else's mortgage. You're not building your own equity. Meanwhile, homeowners in Brevard have seen their values either hold steady or go up slightly. Even if prices dip like 5% or so, you're still better off owning than renting and waiting. Question number 2, is now a bad time to sell? Not necessarily, but you have to be realistic. If you need to sell, if you're relocating, if you're downsizing, whatever the reason, yes, you can absolutely sell right now. But you need to price correctly and present your home well. If you're just testing the market to see if you can get 2021 prices, don't waste your time. You're gonna be disappointed. That market is gone. But here's the good news. You still have equity in your home because your value is still strong. It's not 2021 equity, but you still have good equity. And if you bought a few years ago, that could be almost double the price of what you bought your house for. You just need to price the home at today's market value, not yesterday's market value. Question number 3, when is the best time to buy or sell? That's a great question. Based on the data, here's what I'm seeing. For buyers right now, through winter, it's actually ideal. We're in a slower season where there's less competition, and sellers who list in the holidays typically need to sell. You've got maximum negotiating power. For sellers, it's the same thing. If somebody is shopping during the holidays, that usually means that they are a willing and able serious buyer, and you don't have as much competition. However, you're likely not to get the price that you would get if you sold in the peak season, which is, March to May. So if you can wait until late January and you really want to maximize that value, and if you can wait until then, that's when buyers activity picks up for the spring market. You'll get more showings, more offers, and likely a faster sale. But if you need to sell now, you absolutely can, just price it right. Ultimately, when trying to decide the best time to sell or buy, it's important to first consider your specific situation, and the market comes second. So, what should you do? If you're thinking about buying, first, stop waiting for the perfect moment. The perfect moment is when you're financially ready and when you find the right home. Not when rates hit some magic number or prices drop to 2019 levels. Second, use this market to your advantage. You've got 5,565 homes to choose from, so you can negotiate, you can be picky, you don't have to settle. Third, look at homes that have been sitting for 60, 90, 100 days. Those sellers are getting more flexible, and you might find a great deal. If you're thinking about selling, first, have realistic expectations up front. Pull up recently sold homes in your neighborhood, not active listings, but actually sold properties that have sold in the last 2 to 3 months. In this shifty market, a lot can happen in 2 or 3 months. I also like to look at the properties under contract to see what those were priced at, how long they were on the market, because that helps you gauge where the market is going and has been in the last month or so. And then price accordingly. Second, invest in presentation. Get professional photos, declutter, stage if you can. Take care of those repairs you've been putting off. In a market with so much inventory, you really need to stand out. It may take you some time in the beginning, but it will be worth it in the end. Third, time it right, if you can. Listing now means you're going into the slow season. If you can wait until late January, you'll catch the spring buyer wave. But if you can't, it's okay to sell during the holidays. Again, buyers are more serious in the holidays. If you're just watching and want to learn more about real estate, keep following this channel because I do these monthly updates with real data. I'm not here to hype the market up or scare you. I'm just showing you the numbers and what they mean. And honestly, whether you work with me or another agent, Just make sure you're working with someone who knows the local market and can back up their advice with actual data. All right, here's how I can help you. If you want a detailed breakdown of what's happening specifically in your neighborhood, whether it's Satellite Beach, in Humber Beach, Melbourne, in the Atlantic, wherever you're looking, I've got a free market report for you. Just click the link in the description below and you can request your personalized report. It takes about 30 seconds and I'll get you real numbers for your specific area. If you found this information helpful, hit that subscribe button because I drop these market updates every single month. I also do neighborhood tours, home buying tips, and all that good stuff. Until next time, I'm Lourdes Saiwa, realtor on the Space Coast and your trusted and committed real estate advisor.